fan of Kurt Russell. It's fun. I was watching Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and Kurt Russell is in it. He plays Star-Lord's dad, spoilers. Yes. And Sylvester Stallone is in it as well.
Yes.
And I was like, they've reunited.
Oh, yeah. They don't have a scene together, do they?
No. Now, we recapped Guardians 2, and you didn't really like it at all. I enjoyed it. Whoa.
Yeah.
I liked it. I just thought the first one was better.
Okay.
They're both good.
Okay.
They're not even close to being bad, but yes, I didn't like it as much as the first one.
Okay. I'm just misremembering it. But when he's like, I had to kill your ma. I had to put that cancer in her. that scene, so we watched the first one over the weekend for movie night. In the beginning scene, and your daddy was an angel, and she's dying, and then knowing what I know from the second one, I'm just like, oh, he's gonna be so pissed when he finds out what really happened.
Yeah.
And the part we talked about it, but the part when the chain is playing, and it clenches his fist, and I just was like, yeah, I got pumped in the movie theater.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was good. I just didn't like all that Baby Groot stuff. Drax was cool, and like the heel turn kind of came out of nowhere. Like you knew something was coming, but then he just says it like you said.
Yeah,
I had to give it that cancer.
She's not like us, you know. We're gods. I had to put that cancer in her. She just wouldn't let. I forget why. Like she wouldn't let it go, or she didn't. I loved her too much, and I wanted to get out of there, so I had to kill her. But I think the heel turn they built it too long. Like, you kind of knew something was wrong. They kept alluding to things not being right. Like that his little assistant was like, oh no, shit's not right here. So you felt it coming for too long, and then it came.
That's why they were laying it on so thick. I thought we were going to get the Russo swerve, where it's like, no, everything's cool. Everything's cool. We're going to put Drax on a pole match. Here we go.
I can't do a Russo voice, otherwise I would have.
You were considering.
I was trying. I was trying to conjure one up, and it didn't work.
It starts with bro.
I just picturing.
You don't
his
got
face.
the Spaldings to the wall, bro. You don't got the Spaldings. I hate that. He was doing that Spaldings thing since the 90s. When he was Vic Venom in WWF.
You know, I didn't remember that he was a guy. Like that
he
had a name.
For some reason he was a guy. And boy, the people who succeed over there, I just don't get it. Kevin Dunn did it because his dad saved tapes.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. It was like it was burning down or something, the old office.
Yeah. And his daddy saved them tapes.
Thank God for those tapes.
We're going to put those on the WWE Network one day. $9.99.
The WWE Network.
Yeah. I hate that. Yeah, so I got rid of the network. My life is going well.
Great.
Everything's fine. Don't really miss the network.
Me either.
I just don't need it.
Every time I think I'm missing it, I'll just I'll hop on YouTube and see what's been going on. I'm like, nope, I'm good.
Yeah, and that's they recap it on you. You can do that. What am I missing? Right. You don't have to go to the WWE Network to see what you've been missing. They're gonna show you on free TV and freeyoutube.com.
Yeah, I don't have cable, but I could if I had cable, I'd just watch Raw.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, I wouldn't, because I had cable and I didn't watch Raw. But if I wanted to see what was happening, I don't need the network for that.
It's just I try to root for it. I mean, they got Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe's out there doing stuff. Like the roster's just as good as it could possibly be.
Yeah, we sound sort of like shitty about it a lot, but we don't want the WWE to be shitty. We love wrestling. You know, like I would want nothing more than for it to be back in its back on top and relevant and awesome, like Attitude Era on top or whatever. I don't want it to fail. I'm not like a wrestling hipster where I'm like, I only watch Japanese things and I wish I don't even bother with WWE.
Okay, well, I cut my legs right from under me there.
Well, no, I'm not saying that's not a good alternative, but
Because I was just gonna be like, New Japan,
oh no,
Chris Jericho.
that's not. I'm not saying it's not good or not to watch it, but there's people that are just they would never like the WWE because it's the biggest thing.
Right.
That's kind of how I was in high school. Like I liked WCW, and that was it. I sort of like didn't like the WWE for no good reason. It's like fuck the WWE. F. It was F back then.
Get the F out.
But no, of course I want it to be awesome. I want it to make me want the network, and it just doesn't.
Did you watch that video of Kenny Omega, Chris Jericho?
I didn't know it was a long video, so I started watching it at work, and then I had to stop. But I
didn't know it was long. I thought it was like he appears, hits him with the code breaker, and that's it. But it's like, no, he beats the shit out of him. Then he beats the shit out of some other old man. It's just great. He's wiping blood on this and that.
So is he able to do this because he's a part-timer?
Yeah, I mean, he can do it. I don't think he has a contract.
Right, he just comes back for
Yeah.
shows, and they give him money for the show, and that's it.
Yep.
So he can do what he wants. That's cool.
He can do whatever he wants. He's trying to do that cruise show for some reason.
Yeah,
wrestling on a cruise.
Didn't they get hot about that?
He's like, can I use some of the NXT guys, like some of your no names?
Oh yeah. No.
And they were like, no. And he was like, well, fuck you then. I mean, they're fine, but he was just like, dick. And then like 2 weeks later, it's New Japan.
Yeah, you have a captive audience when you do those cruise shows. There's a lot of like rock on the boat with like 30 rock bands. And I just think those got to be bad shows to get, right? For a band. I wouldn't want to ever be on a cruise ship. It's not because I don't like the water. It's just, shit goes wrong. You get food poisoning or someone has the flu. Like everybody's fucked. And you're in the middle of nowhere. And then you're stuck with all those people till you get back.
I've never done a cruise. It is something that I think looks neat. And I'd like to do it just at least one time. Because how long are they? 3 days, 5 days? I guess it all depends.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they do a lot of them.
I'll go on a 3 to 5 day one. Why not?
I'm not saying I would never do one, but I would not be the one who came up with the idea of let's go on a cruise.
No, they do comedy. I always see a lot of comedians doing cruise shows and stuff. My concern would be, like, what do you do on that second night? Like, they heard that. They've heard it.
Do all my shit again.
They're like, oh, man. Yeah, we get it. Thermostat. Only Dad can touch the thermostat, Jerry.
Why are you making the assumption that only hacky jokes would happen on the cruise ship?
Yes. Oh.
But there was a guy, the drummer Mike Portnoy, who used to be the drummer in Dream Theater. He quit, and he started playing drums with Avenged Sevenfold when their drummer died. And they're like, no, bro, we don't want you to play full time with us, though. Like after he had quit Dream Theater and everything. Mm. So I'm like, ooh, So he started like another project, but he did one of those. It was like his birthday cruise, and there were all these different bands, and he sold tickets, and people were on this big boat. He's playing the drums, and it was weird.
Yeah, like a rock star cruise. That seems like it has the makings of a disaster.
Mm-hmm.
Drugs and fuckings and overdoses and just like day
Drinking.
2. It's just the grimiest grime.
Yeah, and then if you got to play, just think about it. Seriously, if you look at it, they do like 30 bands or something on some of these cruises. That's got to be tight quarters, or like
where's
it's got to be terrible.
Yeah, is there like an audience? It sounds like the only people on the boat would be in the bands.
Yeah, there's an audience.
Because
Yeah,
what, 30 times what, five, 6 people per band?
yeah, you're looking at plus a couple of crew members maybe for each
Oh yeah,
band. You're looking
you
at like
gotta have that.
200 people or something in bands. And I wonder if it's one of those like, well, it's going to be $2,000 you got to pay us, but you get to keep all your merch sales or something, you know? I could probably find out at some point because I know some bands that have done that with like, they've done that with bands that used to be famous type thing.
Could be pretty hype. Get all excited about that. Some people would.
I mean, there's bands that have played those that I like still.
Mhm.
So, Cruise.
So how's your music going?
My
Because we're reaching
music.
the end of the year, Jim.
Yeah, we're reaching the end of the year, and I talked about this a little bit, either the last show or the show before, that I was hitting a wall with getting the vocals done because it's hard for me to slot that time in. So I've gotten the first songs completely done. All the vocals are done. And the second song, all the lead vocals are done. So like all the verses, all the choruses, all the bridge, but like none of the background harmony parts. But those don't, like if I block out another day, I could do those and then the leads for another song. So yeah, I'm not going to have all the vocals done by the first of the year. But, which was my goal, but I do have almost two songs worth of vocals done. And now I found my rhythm, like found my sweet spot with how to do it. So before, I don't want to get too inside baseball because some people probably don't give a shit. But before, what I used to do is like, I'll do a take of the first verse. And then I'll go, I don't like that part. I don't like that part. And then I would try and just punch in that part over and over until I felt like, okay, that's how I want it. And then I'd feel good with it after 2 hours of singing and doing it. And then I'd listen to it for a week in the car or whatever. And I'm like, I want to fix that other part. So here's what I do now. I set up a loop and I'll do like, say the first line of the first sentence of the first verse. I'll do it like at least 10 times. Right? And by the 10th time, I pretty much got it. And then I know, because here's what happens all the time. Oh, I was flat on the first couple notes, but I really hit that like little embellishment thing at the end of that line. And then I'll go to punch in just the first part that was flat and like doing it over and over and I'm not getting it. So what I do now is I just set up a loop and I just sing that first line over and over and over like 10 times. And then I'll know like, okay, I got 10 good takes where I can comp together a solid line. And I just went section by section and did it and it went way easier. And then you can try different things like, oh, I'm going to try this thing at the end. And it's not like you're wasting a whole take on it.
Is that how a lot of the songs are done? By other people?
Nowadays, that's not uncommon. Back in the day, it used to be a problem because you had a tape machine. So let's say you have a 24-track tape machine and you have this like 2 tracks allotted for lead vocals. You'd have to go in and punch in the mistakes. Unless you were rich, like when they were doing Thriller, they had a 24-track tape machine and then a whole separate 24-track tape machine just for vocals. So they could do all the different takes and then comp them all together onto one track.
So whenever I listen to a song, I just assume this was the good one. Like they did it a dozen times or so, and they're like, I like
sometimes, sometimes it's like that. Sometimes that is the case, especially with older stuff, like some classic rock and things like that. And then sometimes it is like that was the second take and it was just great. But that's just sort of was limited by technology.
Yeah.
So with technology now, I mean, why wouldn't you just set up a loop and just sing 10 takes and then they stack on top of each other? So they're all in the same track that you have for vocals. And then you can just like, I'm going to listen to take 3. I'm going to listen to take 4. And then you can just cut them up and like, I'm going to take this. It's just working really well. I like it.
Plug and play.
Yep. Plug and play. I like the technology. People complain about it a lot, and people want to go back to the old school way of doing things. But it's just sort of over romanticized. Like it was a pain in the ass to have to punch all that stuff in on tape, because I've done it. And then you're like, was 3 takes ago better? That's gone forever.
Oh, that's
Yeah. So
can we get better? We can't get that bad.
like even if you were shooting a movie and you did like more takes, you're not. It's film, right? You're not using the same tape. You're not using the same film. You're using more film. It's costing money or whatever. But that it's not like that shot's gone. Whereas with tape, you're like rewind it and just go over it again. It's gone forever. Some people like that. It helps them get a good performance. They're like, yeah, I feel the pressure, and I get in there. With me, I think I overthink it, and I get too anxious about like getting this note just right. Even if I'm just punching in like a word that's flat. The way I do it now, I'd much rather do it like I'll just do a whole take again. I'd rather just add a whole nother take because then sometimes you're like, oh, I did the ending even better on that last one.
I would always just be afraid. It's just it sounds different. Like, oh, everything's gone really great, baby. Everything's good. It's like, no, I know what you've done.
Yeah, sometimes that happens, and it happens less frequently if I just like, okay, I'm going to do this first part of the verse 10 times in a row. You know, it takes like a couple minutes, and then they all sound pretty close. But that part of it is more of a editing thing. Like if you're good with that, you can make it sound seamless, which is also part of the fun. So I'm still working on it. Still cracking at it, but I feel really good. This is the best I've felt about it so far. Cracking it. And I'm on this diet now, working out 3 days a week.
Crack that.
Yeah, I've been doing my cinder block exercises.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have weights. I can't afford it.
Body weight. It's like DDP Yoga. Have you heard of the DDP Yoga app?
No.
Bang.
Okay. Sold. No, yeah, I try and do exercises where I can only do like 5 to 7 good reps. And so like regular push-ups don't work for that anymore. So I do like one-arm push-ups, which is good for that. But then squats, I'm like, I got to do one-legged squat. I could do like 500 squats, but not one-legged squats. I can barely do like 5. So I've been doing that, and then got some cinder blocks in the garage. So I'm stuck a baseball bat through the tops of the cinder blocks and like just did bent over rows with cinder blocks. I'm just doing the Rocky IV thing. I'm going straight Rocky IV on it. I'm going to be punching a bear.
Yeah, punch a bear. Fucking put water. Is carrying gallons of water around.
Yeah. Big rocks.
Fuck.
How's the writing? How's the writing going?
Writing's good. Everything's good. No one's fucking me over this week. That's good.
How's Valentine's Day?
Valentine's Day? I don't know if it's ever going to happen, Jim.
It can.
Oh, will the world keep spinning if we don't get Valentine's Day?
What's it going to hurt? Give it a shot.
I'm not really looking forward to that. What I am looking forward to is Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
I am too.
Out this week.
Ordered my tickets today for Friday.
It really crept on me. I knew it was like, oh, December. And then I remembered, oh, we're in December now. Like
right.
like almost halfway through it. I said yes, and I'm very excited. I haven't had anything spoiled for me. This person dies, that person's this, and he's the father of that. Like nothing there. You've got your tickets. That's good. I do Movie Pass, and that's going to be difficult for me because I'm going to have to go because it's like you have to do it the same day. So I'll have to go to the theater when it opens just so I can get a ticket maybe for 7 to 10 p.m. show. And that's going to be rough. And I can't get tickets for other people.
Oh, shit.
Through that. So
you might be like, sorry. Like 4 of you get there and you're like, I got my ticket. Have a nice one.
Well, I'm telling her, like, just work from home that day. And we'll go get our tickets early in the morning. And you could work from home. And then that night we go see the Star Wars Last Jedi. Who's the Last Jedi? Is it Kylo Ren? I don't know.
Or does it
seen
just mean the last of all the last of the word? There's no more word Jedi. Now we're all this other thing, man.
Yeah, don't put labels on me.
Yeah, because
Luke
he's not.
Skywalker's a
Kylo's
hippie
not
now.
Sith, so maybe Rey's not Jedi. It's all. We're all just people doing our
Don't
people thing.
don't assume my alignment, man.
Right, bro.
You don't know what I am.
Worst case,
But-
couldn't you just regularly buy a ticket if you had to?
If I had to, sure.
I mean, I know you don't want to, but
I wouldn't want to, but I could do that. But I don't think it'll come to that. Even doing it that way, when it opens, get a ticket for later that night. They're going to be sold out before I even get there because it's the people like you who have already got their tickets.
yeah.
So I might have to wait a bit. I don't know. I might have to sneak in a screening by myself and just fake it
Oh no.
next time. I don't know. I've got a lot of
oh,
thoughts. I know. Jim, you think I don't know?
That's rough. I would totally. Oh, would I do it? It's so hard because then you start justifying it like you don't love it like I love it.
Chewie's in it. He's on the poster. That means he's got a big role.
Yeah.
I need to find out if Kylo Ren's going to turn face.
I mean, you saw the trailer, right?
I think I've seen all of the trailers.
It's sort of up in the air, but there's definitely a scene where they're not fighting each other.
Yeah.
He and
No,
Rey.
that's you can't know.
Yeah, I'm
If
saying we
it
don't
tricked
know.
you.
So like it could be.
Well, she's saying
maybe
I
he
need
turns
help,
face,
and
maybe-
I don't think that conversation that you're talking of is even those two talking to each other.
We don't. Who knows?
Um,
Could be like Rogue One, where most of the trailer isn't in the movie.
there is that option again. God, fuck.
I don't know. I don't think they'll do that.
But the trailer, it also makes it seem, and it's probably all misdirection, but they're really making it look like he's going to kill Princess Leia.
yeah,
Maybe
like she's on the
plan
bridge.
is-
He's
yeah.
flying in. She's on the bridge. He's flying in. And you have to do the thing with the good person you love that you have to do. And then he shoots and
Yeah, and he's looking torn up about it. And is he, will he, won't he? Even if those two scenes are remotely connected, which we don't know. But I like that.
I think they're really
that's a good
misdirecting
angle.
us.
It's probably that.
I hope they are.
But
And
when they teased it, I said, I know this is probably misdirection, but I hoped very much that he fucking kills her. Just be a heel. Just go all in. Be the villain. Be the bad guy. Kill Princess Leia, because I mean she's supposed to have this big role in this movie and the next one, but then Carrie Fisher died, so it's like, yes, that really messed things up for you. Just do what you can, full blown heel. Just go for, or I just do something well. Just do it well.
The angle I'm worried about is there's a lot of early speculation that Luke it turns heel in this, that he's bad or whatever, that he's
I
got
love that.
You know, I just hope it's not just straight up that, because it seems a little too, I don't know, it just seems a little too predictable, or it just seems too one-dimensional for Luke, for him to just be like, I'm straight up heel now. Yeah, you know, it just doesn't. I just hope if they do that, they do it well and it's got depth to it.
I
just
think
don't-
it would.
I don't see that being the case, though. You know, he's on his little island. Rey shows up at the end of Force Awakens, gives him the lightsaber or whatever, holds it there for a while. And if he was straight up heel, so what happens between then and now, where now all of a sudden, now he's straight up heel? Because he obviously wasn't at the end of that movie.
I don't know. He didn't. I mean, he had the cranky old man face.
Yeah, but he's wearing, you know, come on, it's Star Wars. He wasn't wearing black. There was nothing red he was holding.
Okay, he was wearing black in Return of the Jedi. He wasn't a heel then.
Hey, we didn't know. They wanted us to think for a second, who's this guy in black? He looks like a bad guy.
The real question is, will we see Phasma's beautiful lady face?
You know, because I didn't watch back then. I had no fucking clue that she's in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I didn't know that's who that was.
Because it's just a voice.
Yeah.
It's her, too,
Of
but-
somebody in a show that I didn't watch.
Right.
And now I'm
Yeah,
like,
I
I know who that is all of a sudden. I know this
I
thing
love her.
everybody
She's
was
great.
privy to.
Have you ever seen any interviews with her?
No.
Red carpet, just
Mm-mm.
she's crazy. She's
Yeah.
picking up where Carrie Fisher left off. Like she is just a wacky, wacky lady, and I love her.
I want her to have
I
a big.
love
I thought she was going to have a bigger role in 7. So I want to see more of her.
Yeah, maybe some more stuff with Finn, which is another. Is Finn like what's his gimmick gonna be? Is he a cripple? Because he got real messed up at the end of the other movie.
Ooh, yeah, I forgot about that.
And there's the one shot in the first trailer where it looked like he was wearing this weird exo suit. And I was like, is he? I was like, is he damaged?
That's true.
So many.
Yeah,
and it's
and
going to be
then-
the longest movie in the Star Wars franchise at 4 hours and 16 minutes. No, it's over too. But it's what they are now. So looking forward. I'm just looking forward to it.
Are we
In
going
a
to get
couple
more
days.
Poe? We need more Poe.
Fuck Poe.
I mean, he started
I
off
hate
strong.
Poe.
His first scene was good, and I thought, okay, this is going to be.
Yeah,
I
you
like
pop
this
for
guy. And
that.
then he's gone. He just. See
Do
ya.
you go first? Do I go first?
FN, you're Finn. Bye.
I'm
I'll
gonna-
see you
I'm
at the
gonna call you Finn.
end.
Here's a jacket. No, it's your jacket. And it's just those real that weird connection. Like you left your jacket in my bedroom.
Yeah, they were trying to make it gay. They did. It was. I liked it.
I know. I like that too.
I know.
I like. So I'm what's the Scar alien guy? Kylo Ren's boss.
Oh,
That
Snoke.
guy. I don't remember his name. Snoke. Yeah. Like what's
Supreme Leader
Gonna get-
Snoke.
we're gonna get some. We're gonna get some more sprinkles of stuff there, whether we see him in person. How? Because everyone's guessing he's gonna be like a real small person, and that's got to be it. That just has to be it. And
Yeah,
I'm
he's
very
like
excited.
his hologram is huge.
Yes.
I'm kind of I'm waiting for a surprise along the lines of the villain. Like I'm waiting for a surprise where Snoke is really this guy, or hey, Darth Maul's really alive in one of these. Something to tie it back to the Emperor somehow. Because it's it's all splintered off now, and like no, they're not the Sith. They're this other thing. They're the New World Order of Star Wars, brother. But
Yeah.
I want some sort of this was my plan all along. Something Sithy and nefarious. Have I ever told you the story of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
That would
Tell me about him. I need to save her.
come on. Is he sand?
Is he sand?
Because I won't listen to the story if he is sand. So, we'll probably discuss that next week. Hopefully, I'll see it. I will have seen it. It's just who will I have seen it with,
Mhm.
and am I still in a relationship? It's really what that one's going to boil down to.
Yeah.
Pray for Mojo.
That's a good point. It's a good
Pray.
point.
For Mojo. But the movie this week, the character work film, was 1993's Last Action Hero. So we're going to talk about that for the next half an hour. We might need more time.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Then we talk about it as long as we need to on this show.
Because it's great, and I'm going to talk about how great it is.
It's
For a
really good,
while.
and there's some inside baseball stuff I want to know that I didn't think about. Like you had mentioned it casually, like, this budget couldn't have been small.
Yeah, I still got to check that out. There's just a lot of cast.
There's a
Good
lot of
stunts,
cast.
a lot of good practical stuff. They've got John McTiernan. Probably wasn't cheap at the time. He was still
Oh
he was
no,
Mr. Die Hard at the time. Like he's still riding high. Shane Black, uncredited William Goldman. He's not the cheapest. And once again, the cast.
So why do
many-
I know? Why do I know William Goldman? So you say uncredited William Goldman? Oh Jesus Christ! Okay, gotcha.
yeah.
That's all I needed
Butch
to know.
Cassidy,
Yeah.
Princess Bride. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Hmm.
I didn't know he did uncredited stuff on this.
I
But
didn't know. I had no idea.
It makes sense because it's just a fucking charm factory. This movie, all the jokes, and even though they're supposed to be bad, they're executed in non-cringy ways, and it's just fucking fantastic. But yeah, let's do a budget real quick.
$85 million.
85. This is 93. That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. T2 in 91 was like 92 million, and that was the most ever at the time. So this is a lot.
This is right up there. This is right up there.
So here's a good comparison, because let me just tell you a little story. When this came out, I went to Colorado for summer vacation to see my cousins and aunt and uncle. And Jurassic Park was also out, tearing up the box office, right? This was out at the same time, so it kind of got smothered a little bit by like the movie of the year as far as blockbusters go. That's for the franchise. I didn't see it out there, and I was mad. You know, it came out when we were out there. I saw Jurassic Park, and we sort of like split up. Like half of us went and saw this, half of us saw Last Action Hero. And I was salty I didn't get to see Last Action Hero, because I think up until Last Action Hero, like other than Kindergarten Cop, there wasn't an Arnold movie I could have seen at the show because I wasn't allowed because they were all rated R. And this was PG-13. And I could have seen this, and I didn't get to. When we got back, though, before summer vacation was over, the Dalton Theater, which was like the, this movie's not at the regular shows anymore, but the Dalton Theater has it. The Dalton Theater had it. And I saw Last Action Hero for $1, and I fucking loved it. And I was like, God, I should have seen this instead of Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
I mean, 9-year-old me, there's no contest.
It's still Last Action Hero.
Yeah, it's still fucking Last Action Hero. Agreed. So I just wanted to give that little premise that, because we talked about this not on the show, and I've had this talk with other people too who agree. This is sort of I don't know if I say underrated, but I think it's a lot better. I think a lot more people haven't seen it than they think. You know, you're like, oh, that's that cheesy movie with the magic ticket, but it's really well done.
Yes,
and I just feel like it got sort of smothered by Jurassic Park that summer,
and it didn't get that nostalgic resurgence.
Yeah, it wasn't in the 80s.
Like, there's still not a lot of love for this movie, not even in an ironic way or anything. It's just forgotten.
Yeah, it never had that.
It's almost close to, right there on the shelf with Super Mario Brothers. It's obviously not as bad as Super Mario Brothers, but in that, yeah, I've seen it. It can stay on the shelf over there next to Last Action Hero.
Yeah,
like why? Like,
people probably have seen it once or twice, and they just they don't remember it being Terminator 2, so they sort of don't remember it. And it really deserves to be rewatched now.
And it holds up. The jokes are great. The story's great. It has, we were talking about Phasma. She was in Game of Thrones. This has Tywin Lannister with a fake eye just chewing up scenery.
That's fucking Tywin Lannister! God damn it! I was like, why is Tywin Lannister so familiar? Yes, burn it.
Yeah, he's great. Just great. And one thing I noticed when I was watching this, and it might have been the William Goldman influence. I don't know if he did, punched up dialogue or structure. I'm starting to think maybe structure, because it's just a very traditional, classic 3-act structure. Act 1 is everything with the little boy until he goes into the movie. Act 2, he's in the movie, and we get the meat of it. Act 3 is Tywin Lannister's in New York City, and now we have to deal with this part of the story and take it home, brother. And it's clear cut. It's not trying to fool you. And none of those acts outstays their welcome. Because just when you're starting to think, this is a magic ticket movie, right? Can we get into the movie? Boom, he's in the movie. And then we stay in that movie for a long time, because that's where we need to be. That's what this movie is. And then it's like, well, all right, we're having a lot of fun, but how can we advance this
and raise the stakes a little bit? Because
he's over here now. just great
in the real world.
In the real world,
And the tone changes so drastically. It's not like a straight up Arnold action movie in the real world. The beginning of the movie is very sort of. I remember being scared in the theater when he's home alone and the guy breaks into the apartment.
Oh yeah,
and he
just a
robs
home
him.
invasion. Just
a fucking home invasion because single mom, New York City, and is busy, and I'm fucking. My knuckles are scabby the whole movie, and I don't know why. Probably getting in scraps at school. Yeah, I've seen it a couple times. He handcuffs him to the. I'm like, as a kid, like at 9 years old, I'm like, is he gonna molest him in the bathroom? Like, I was like, oh my god, what's about to happen? Like, it's pretty fucking deep. This is not just like a feel good kid comedy adventure.
Yeah, and even like how I described the basic 3 acts that we go through here, the stuff that happens, it kind of hits you. Like Tywin Lannister, villain, mobster, boss type of guy. He's now in New York, and he says, "Well, this is all very different." And he shoots a guy, and then he starts counting down because in the movies the cops would you'd already be hearing the sirens.
Oh right.
And he's just like, "Oh, violence is just okay here. I'm going to be a god now." Just that little commentary of what a fictional character would think of our real world.
Killed him for his shoes.
Yeah.
I've just shot a man, and I did it on purpose. That part is fucking awesome.
Shut up. Yeah, we heard.
Yeah, they're complaining at him, and like the gritty look of the real world, like the way it looks compared to how we are in the movie world, like they just nail that. We're in the gritty real world. We're in this fantasy Hollywood sort of airbrushed colors, cartoon cats talking to you, and then real world is gritty and terrible again. And like the stakes feel higher, you know? Danny's trying to tell him like this isn't a movie. And the airbag scene, you know, like that was fucking Oddjob is dead as fuck.
Yeah.
And taxi cab, no airbag. I can't do Arnold, but
and like Act 2 is all action adventure, and it's amazing. Bullets flying everywhere.
That Desert Eagle never runs out of bullets.
Never runs out of bullets. But when he gets to New York, real life New York, it's just like a couple shots, pink into the car, and there's no cool sound effects or anything.
Just puts holes in the trunk, and he's like, they usually blow up when I do that.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, no, you just shot at trunk of a car. It's not gonna blow up. It's so good. Going back a little bit, because we talked about how this maybe have gotten overshadowed. What did I say? $85 million budget?
Yes.
Okay, movie that came out the same year, same time. Jurassic Park. Steven Spielberg. Groundbreaking visual effects. $63 million budget.
Wow.
It went on to make $1 billion at the box office compared to Last Action Hero made money.
Sure, doubled it maybe.
Yeah, maybe like 100 and let's see, it made 130 something million, not even doubled it.
Yeah,
but made money. But Jesus Christ, to have to compete with that. So like structure-wise, story-wise, like you're nailing all the awesome parts of it. But there's like a meta to this movie, which is we're coming out of the 80s and early 90s of these big action franchises and Lethal Weapon and Terminator and Predator, Die Hard. And they get the guy associated with that genre to come into this 1993 movie, Times They Are A-Changin', and make fun of himself, like make fun of the whole genre that he helped build.
Yeah.
Poke fun at it. And then call it Last Action Hero. And it goes back to that line the teacher has about the first action hero. Who is it, like Sir Laurence Olivier in Hamlet? He's the first action hero. So, but the title's Last Action Hero. We don't get a titular line, which I like. And then the soundtrack. Here's like the meta that I don't even know if people knew was going on. 1993, the musical landscape is changing. Like we're getting into the, Nirvana blew up, and there's a lot of 80s bands on this, like old school bands on this soundtrack that he's listening to that are in the movie, where it's like their last hurrah, like Queensryche and Tesla and these bands where it's like, oh yeah, like Megadeth. Like these were bands that were huge in the 80s and early 90s, and it's like this is their last action hero moment, and they didn't even know it. That shit was just done. The soundtrack is awesome. It's still one of my favorite soundtracks ever. I listen to it many times a year, and they work the music in so well in the movie.
Yeah, it's not T2 good.
Well, it's T2, that's like an original score. Oh yeah, you know what? We've got Guns N' Roses.
Guns N' Roses, that's what I was...
George Thorogood, Bad to the Bone.
Yeah. But it's very close. It's used extremely well.
But see, most of these songs are original motion picture. Like most of these were not on albums. Like these were just for
really?
this soundtrack.
Oh God, that's almost more insulting.
Right.
To those bands.
But
just do something like you make, because you're on the way out.
Like
get it? You dig?
So the beginning music, like "Angry Again," is the Slater 4 like intro music.
Oh, I love that.
And then, so there's a song on the Last Action Hero soundtrack called "Last Action Hero," but for the movie they redid it and they say Jack Slater instead of Last Action Hero because the movies aren't called Last Action Hero.
Yeah,
but it's the same song. Brilliant! Like they went above and beyond with the soundtrack. MC Hammer not on the soundtrack.
You posted your love of the soundtrack earlier, and I said, I'm gonna listen to it because I'm sure there's playlists and stuff on Spotify, and I enjoyed it while I was watching it, and I'm gonna add it because it's all those rock things, high, fast pace, perfect tone for all this crazy.
We do
shit
get some
that
rap. There's a Cypress Hill song. It plays when they go to the LAPD. There's all this hot chicks and everything. It's Cock the Hammer. It's playing, but they work it in so well. And then the Queensryche song is like the epic song with the strings and everything. And that is playing when they get to New York. And that first chase scene is the end of the Queensryche song. But it like fits in, and Michael Kamen like did the orchestration of the Queensryche song, and it's like part of the score. Just all so seamless. And I love that meta game of out with the old. This is like the last hurrah, and things are gritty and real now, and grunge, and kill ourselves and do heroin.
Grunge.
Alice in Chains, only band on the soundtrack twice. Got 2 tracks on there, and they're fucking killer.
Was pretty good. You didn't notice it was Tywin Lannister. It didn't click for you.
No,
They do more things. Act 3, when the villains pulled into the real world, also pulled into the real world was Death.
Yes.
From Ingmar Bergman's The Seventh Seal. Do you know who that was?
Ian McKellen.
It was Ian McKellen. And I didn't get it until I was watching it with our D&D buddies, and it was pointed out to me, and I then lost my fucking mind.
That was the first thing I knew him from. Like when I saw him as Magneto, I'm like, that's fucking Death from Last Action Hero. If I were you, I'd be looking for the other half of that ticket.
Yeah.
He's so fucking good.
It's not your time yet.
I don't do fiction.
He touches that guy when he's walking down the street because he's smoking a cigarette and just
keels over and dies. It's awesome.
It's very good. And now I kept coming back to, why isn't this an underground cult classic? It should be up there with all the ironic 90s movies people love, and not even in an ironic way, but
it should be above that a little bit.
It bothers me. And I'm trying to think why, and I've nailed it down to why it isn't as beloved.
Can I guess one of the things?
You can guess it.
Oh, is you just have one thing?
It's really just one.
Is it involved because there's a child actor in it?
It's the kid.
Oh, I nailed it. I knew it.
It's the kid. He does a good job.
He's decent. But he's supposed to be the lead. We're supposed to believe he's the lead character, and that's kind of hard to buy.
And I just kept thinking, who else could we have gotten for this?
At the time?
At the time, 93, like, this is Austin O'Brien. He does a great job. He's in My Girl 2. He's fine. He doesn't do a bad job, but it's just it doesn't fit. It certainly doesn't elevate it. Who could we have gotten?
And I
kept
think
trying to go through all these names. The Coreys. I'm trying to think. 93. Who's alive? Do the ages?
no,
line
Corey
up?
Feldman wouldn't have worked.
That wouldn't have worked. Too old. I kept coming back to Icebox from Little Giants.
Which one was that?
The girl. She was the girl lead in Little Giants.
Oh,
Rick
yeah.
Moranis' daughter.
Hey, that would have worked.
I think that would have been awesome.
How much
Because
more
we didn't have- we
terrifying
didn't-
would that home invasion scene have
Oh
been?
God! Oh Jesus! Because we didn't have like the Stranger Things kids who
Yes.
outact everybody in
Yes.
2017. We didn't have that. We had this, and he does a good job, but it's just he's almost a little too old by a year or two. It's hard.
He's a little
It's
too
hard.
like, I'm the comic sidekick. It's not gonna work. It's like he explains too many things in the movie world.
A little too punchable.
Yeah.
And it's so close.
I think that's one of the things that sort of took marks off this movie for some people is because you see him on the cover and you sort of know the premise that he's supposed to be us, like we're seeing this through his eyes. He's obviously Arnold's the star and the main character, but he's kind of sort of really the main character. So I think people remember that and associate this is a kid's movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not Terminator 2, it's not Predator. It's more like Kindergarten Cop than T2. And my thing is it's like on a different level. Like it's really conceptually beyond all that. And they do it so well. Like you would think having a magic ticket would be really dumb and really hokey, but they do that effect really well and they don't overuse it. And it really like builds into like the villain is like, why am I in this? I'm stuck in a movie. I could just when he's got that, they have that dialogue on the roof where he's like, I can just go in and pull out all of these monsters
Yeah, he was name dropping
into this world and fuck your shit up.
When he's like, I can get Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, don't do that.
Hannibal Lecter can do the catering. It's so good, man. This movie is so good. I'm so glad that I helped vote for it.
And like Tom Noonan as the in-film villain.
Yeah. I love Tom Noonan.
Super creepy. I thought it was the guy from Ghost, which was Stephen Wright. So I was incorrect on that.
No, Tom
my memory
Noonan
betrayed me.
The Frankenstein's monster from Monster Squad. Come here, Jack. Come on, Jack. That beginning scene where his kid. Well, so they give us that scene a couple times, or at least like flashes of that a couple times, but that's from Slater 3. So that's what Danny's seeing at the beginning of the movie when he should be asleep. And I'm like, this kid's kind of sort of a badass. Like, he should definitely be in bed. He's probably got fucking school tomorrow. And he's like, I'm at the movies. Oh, the projectionist guy. He's an old silly dude and he does what I want.
Don't touch me. Don't you ever fucking touch me, Marty. Yeah. That stuff got a little. I could probably could have done without that, but it was fine. I loved there's a lot of jokes. It's very joke heavy. It's very gag. It's a loving spoof of the genre, whereas like a scary movie, they just recreate these scenes but add dicks in them. This is clever. We're in the movie. We're in this universe, and we're just going to spoof the genre, not so much these properties. And they do it a couple times. Sylvester Stallone as the Terminator.
Oh yeah,
on the poster.
That's his best work.
Yeah,
you were in a movie, and he's like, yeah. In fact, I was in a movie, and I fuck the shit out of you.
It was called The Girl of My Dreams, and you were there.
Starring you, Meredith. You mean Whitney? So like she did. So that was an interesting choice too. Most of the famous people play themselves in the real world. Like Arnold is Arnold, Jean-Claude Van Damme is Jean-Claude Van Damme, blah, blah, blah. But Bridget. God, what's her fucking last name? Wilson, Bridget. Whoever plays Meredith.
Which one's Meredith? The daughter?
Meredith is his daughter's name. The character's name in the Slater universe is Whitney. Right? But the actor's name is Meredith. But that's not really the actor's name. They could have just really made it her real name.
They went like a third level.
Yeah, they went like 3 levels deep for her.
Yeah.
Because he's like, Meredith? And she's like, you mean Whitney? And he's like, whatever. I'm fucking rock hard right now.
That was like their way of saying, you're not really famous enough for this gag to work.
I think that was their first movie. It was that and then Billy Madison.
They weren't wrong. Because, that was... This is Sonya Blade.
Yep, Sonya Blade.
Veronica Vaughn. Yeah. Love that. And I loved how her character was she was just always screaming. Because the damsel's always, ah!
But she was a badass because she was Jack Slater's daughter.
Yeah. It was fun.
That grenade knife, the money, and then he's really... I love that. I hate that the kid outsmarted Tyrion Lannister, but I love that he outsmarted Tyrion Lannister. He's like, here, there's a bunch of money, just take it. And he's like, burn this money, it ain't fucking real. But Jack had told him earlier, it turns a funny color when you burn it. And he sees the funny color coming out of his chimney, and he's like, motherfucker. And he goes and saves the day.
That's a good little setup.
I love that setup. And then he just fucks everybody up, gets shot, pulls his vest out, throws it on the ground. I'm fine. I love when he falls in the tar pit, and he just has like a paper towel, and then he's just clean.
Yeah.
It's just all gone. He wipes himself off.
Yeah, his face is like pristine. And then in the next shot, he's just 100% clean.
Yeah, he's like wiping off the last little bit of it.
I wish they mentioned it though. They were like, tar stays on most people.
Yeah, well,
I wish they didn't do that and we just kind of saw it.
Yeah.
But it's fine.
What does the doctor see? Patience? What are the elbows on my jacket doing? Wearing thin? That was a stretch. Like that whole thing was a stretch.
Yeah. Yeah. They're not all gonna hit.
No,
but it's joke heavy though,
right?
And most of them do a fine job. I love watching him try to like, no, we're in a movie. You're an action star and all this. And you have all these catchphrases. And he's like, I'll be back. You didn't think I would say that, did you? It's like that's what you.
That's what you always say. And he's like, fuck you. I never said that. You know what my favorite joke is in the movie? You know what my favorite joke is? When they're at the premiere for Slater 4, and Maria Shriver's like, oh, don't come inside the nanny. I just hate it when you come inside the nanny.
Can you tell me why they focused on her so hard?
This is my wife. When they put her in the movie, she's my wife. She's a Kennedy.
There was one point they're trying to establish this is Arnold Schwarzenegger, the actor, and he's talking to somebody, reporter, but the camera's 100% on her. Like you can barely see his shoulder.
I think. Are we supposed to just see her reaction of her like?
I think the bad guy might have been doing a signs cross by in the background with these yellow trench coat.
I don't know what the fuck Jean-Claude Van Damme says. Something about Bob Saget. I can't even understand the words.
You can just see how
the Saget. I'm like, what?
I should have been in this. No.
Jim Belushi's in there.
That sucks so fucking hard.
Slater 5 soundtrack. Like, no, sir. We're not getting a Slater 5, and your career is over. And that's funny on another level.
How long? First of all, the time has passed for this because it probably wasn't as successful as they were hoping, and they said we're certainly not doing a sequel. I would have loved to have seen a Jack Slater. Give me schlock. Give me John Wick, but even more over the top. You know, give me something like that.
I thought I wanted
it. Tie-in.
I wanted it at the time. I think I want more. I want more of the real world and movie world having to try and coexist. He doesn't really get to enact his master plan like we thought. I want to see because every bad guy, maybe not every bad guy, I'm generalizing. But we get those scenes like in Freddy's Dead where they show him making the gloves and there's all the fucking different gloves and you're like, ooh, I wonder when he uses that one. And there's a scene with the eye where he's got all the fucking different eyes. I'm like, oh, I wonder what that one does. Because that one blows up.
Maybe that's a gas one.
Yeah, maybe it's a gasser. Nerf gas. Yeah, I wanted to see another one of these. A standalone Jack Slater movie that seems like a Netflix original.
Or just almost like a 10, 15-minute short even that comes with a DVD or plays before the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Just I don't know. Just give me something. It's just a good concept.
Or maybe some like he's starting to wither away because no one fucking watches those movies anymore.
Oh God.
Something deep, like that.
Yeah. You took it. See, you took this happy idea and you made it DC dark.
I wanted to though. Why do you say that name?
Why do you say Meredith?
Her name's Bridget.
Her name's Whitney. How long until they remake this? Or
never.
Do a new one, but we just all look at it and say, this is Last Action Hero. You just changed a lot of the details.
That's a good point. The closest that I've seen is like a little bit of The Dark Tower.
The Netflix movie. Oh no, I'm inside my Netflix. Like, stay tuned, almost.
Oh yeah,
I'm inside my Netflix with all these original Longmire. The only one I remember.
Yeah, that is more Stay Tuned. So how long until we have like a fake movie that people? I don't know. It's weird. It's sort of like Super Mario Brothers. Like, are they gonna? If they touch that again, it's not gonna be the same thing. And I think this was just so lost. I don't know what it is about Big Trouble in Little China, other than it's amazing. But that's sort of like such its own thing, and had a big cult following. And this, I don't feel like there's a cult following for this.
I think that's why, because even they'll take like fucking Hershey's Kisses and they'll say that's name recognition, that's brand recognition. We can make a Hershey's Kisses movie,
right?
But when I think they sense poison when they hear Last Action Hero, and they say that's an IP we can stay away from.
Yeah, because I think it gets associated with Arnold and being like an Arnold vehicle, and it just, as far as you look at his box office record, it probably was one of the worst money makers that he was making at the time. Because what was right before that? Terminator 2. And what was before that? Total Recall.
Yeah.
Maybe it was like Kindergarten Cop, Total Recall. But I mean, I'm sure just fucking ridiculous amounts of money. And then this sort of felt like Hulk Hogan's last run in WWE, like WrestleMania 9, like, okay, see you later. This is all over. Your childhood is ending.
Because if this was done poorly and it didn't have Shane Black and William Goldman and all this, the studio backing it so strongly, this could have been like a Three Ninjas Kickback level piece of shit.
It could have been terrible. And the acting is so, like, as a 9-year-old, it's not something you pick up on, really. Like the Tyrion Lannister and I said Tyrion, Tywin Lannister and fucking Ian McKellen. They just knock it. F. Murray Abraham. Like, these guys were just fucking.
Love that.
They were just
killed Mozart.
Who? I killed a lot of people. I don't remember half of them.
Yeah, who?
Zot.
God. So it's just a charming movie. Like, a lot of practical effects. This is 93. A lot of car chase stunts, flipping, explosions. It's good. It's just good stuff. It's good fun.
We only killed. What was the body count for Slater 4 as compared to 147 in Slater 3? So we're toning down the death.
Yeah, we're happy about that.
Yeah.
Oh, just clever. It's cute.
Yeah.
So that's Last Action Hero. It's 1993.
And it's L.A. Like, we get to L.A., New York. Not only do we go from movie world to real world, we go from L.A., sunny L.A. with palm trees and everyone's got fake tits and is in shape, to the gritty early 90s New York home invasion fucking heroin addict dude.
Mm-hmm.
He killed him for his shoes.
Real quick before we get to whatever we're going to talk about next week, which you've got that. But did Jack Slater? He fucked his mom, right? He fucked that kid's mom.
I don't think so.
Because I know he says we talked. I've never talked to a woman before.
Yeah, I think
it was very fun.
Yeah, I don't think he fucked her.
I
don't think he did. I really don't think he did. We just talked. It was phenomenal.
She just seems so relaxed.
She seems so full of hot Austrian cum.
Yeah. And she's like, we can't tell Danny. He's like, I'll just lie to him.
Yeah. I'll just tell him we just talked and then I came inside you and had a baby and that's supposed to... No. Don't tell him that part. Oh, just don't plug the nannies. I hate it when you plug the nannies with your dick.
So, what are we going to talk about next week?
We're wrapping up. We're wrapping up here. The end of the year is coming. And I want to talk about one of my favorite movies ever made. John Carpenter's no stranger to this show.
Friend of the show.
Let's not go that far, but we talk about his movies. Talk about Halloween a lot. Big Trouble in Little China is one of my all-time favorite movies. And if they did a Big Trouble in Little China musical, I would audition because I would already have most of the lines memorized. And I could co-write the music. So that's my pick for next week. We're not doing a fucking poll. We're doing Big Trouble in Little China. Full page ad. Who is this man that looks nothing like Kurt Russell? I don't know. Nobody cares. It's one of the best lines in any commentary I've ever heard in my life. Big Trouble in Little China. If you get a chance, if you people have it on DVD,
I do.
Watch it for next week. Watch it again with the commentary, because they don't give you like, oh, well, it's just the third grip, and then the guy did the lightning effects for fucking lightning. No, you get Kurt Russell and John Carpenter, and then in the middle of it, they just fucking start talking about their kids.
Yeah, that's the one where they're just like, baseball's fun. Your kid playing
he's
Little
doing
League?
great in hockey.
Yeah, that's the one.
And then there's just a lull for like 4 minutes. There's just 4 minutes of silence in the middle of it.
Because they had to edit out this.
Yeah. Who was that? Was James Pax. Like Kurt Russell's always trying to remember the other actors' names. He can't. So
boy, was he great.
Yeah, it's fun to watch twice.
And you know what it has? One of the best DVD menus.
Oh ever. Yeah,
because you get the music,
the
and
elevator.
It kicks over and starts right when it's supposed to. And a lot of us have fallen asleep to that DVD menu.
Oh yeah.
You know who doesn't have the best DVD menu? I'm sending it to you right now. It's Last Action Hero.
Yeah.
And this is going to be on characterworkpodcast.com under this episode. The Last Action Hero DVD menu is fucking trash. Columbia TriStar was like, we didn't make as much money as we wanted. So
that looks like
nothing into this.
That looks like it came out on DVD in 1993. Yes. It looks like a fucking menu
when
in
you
the
rip
computers.
It yourself.
That's like one of the computer screens in Jurassic Park when they're trying to like navigate through the car. Well, how do we make this car go? Big button.
There's just like 3 buttons on this bottom layer that don't do anything.
Yeah, we don't know what to do for that.
Fuck.
Leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
Would you leave him alone? You leave Jack Burton alone.
Oh, I'm not even going to be here next week.
We are in his debt. He showed great courage.
Next week, Big Trouble in Little China. Jim's excited.
Oh, God. Waiting so long. No, none yet. Just, you know what the plug is? Go to characterworkpodcast.com, click on the Amazon banner, buy all your shit through there, buy your Kenny Omega shirts and your Chris Jericho dolls. Get that stuff there. Buy Last Action Hero on Laserdisc used.
Yeah, get
Doesn't
your Kylo
matter.
Ren dolls,
Yeah.
body pillows. That's what I got.
Get your Sith Luke Skywalker jerseys.
Get your Phasma Barbie that the helmet doesn't come off. They're like,
Get your fucking always pays his debts with one fucking eye. Get all that shit.
This was episode 49, Last Action Hero. Thanks for listening. I'm Danny DeVito as a cat.
I'm Zot.